My name is Christina Dentzien. I work for the Government of Alberta in the Ministry of Service Alberta and Red Tape Reduction, and I am the Executive Director of Registries Evolution. I actually think it's both. So I recommend that you start by looking at your business plans, other source document material, but also the news. What is happening? What do people care about currently? Is this something that's going to require a quick turnaround? Is this something that is fundamentally broken that you need to go back and really think about how you need to build? So I recommend taking a look at a couple different sources, thinking about how it fits together. That'll also give you the appetite of your organization, of what you would like to move forward, what they are willing to talk about and to move forward. All governments have a lot of pressure on them at all times. It is a limited resource for the funding, so they need to make choices about where they apply that funding. We don't actually do this in government very well, and yet it's a massive opportunity space, and one that I am hoping that we're working towards to make better decisions as we move forward. We have a lot of data. We probably have more than we even recognize that we have in data. When we start liberating that data, when we start getting access to that data and combining it with other data to create information, we're going to be unstoppable. I would love to say we use this very well, but I think right now most of our sources are probably more external, with our insights from our people who work with the data rather than actually accessing real-time data. So having good data is huge. Most of our data has been sitting in systems for 40, 50, 105 years. So coming up with a common language of data, good data taxonomy, good cleanliness of your data. Whenever you are thinking about data, it's not just a matter of making it available, you need to think about what it really is. And I want to give an example here. For example, in Alberta, we have the death registry. Wouldn't it be great to know if somebody who you are providing a granting program or an income support program to has passed away? But you really need to understand what the death registry provides and what it doesn't provide. So it provides you any death that has happened in Alberta. It does not provide a death of anybody, any Albertan who has died, because they may have died elsewhere. So really understanding the difference between those two and how they could be applied within your structure would be very important. And that's just one example. There's many more of really understanding what the data does tell you. So I really think we need to think about how the market is changing around us. The expectations of our citizens are changing as they get used to using the apps on their phones, as they are traveling, as they are seeing what is offered in various places. So really thinking about what is that expectation. And as soon as we meet that, the expectation changes and we need to move beyond that. So really thinking about what are they going to expect in 5 years? And then check in a year if that's still what they're going to be looking at in 5 years, and then check in another year, because the world is changing so quickly right now. So you need to be thinking out a number of years and then measuring against, are you achieving that? Another important concept that we were discussing today is about the trust in government. We do want to move in an incremental pace in an area that the citizens are comfortable with. We cannot take giant leaps into areas that they are going to be very worried about their own data and the impacts it will have to them. So thinking about those incremental improvements and how we're going to move into that space. So we actually need to create an environment where teams do feel safe to and safe to try different things, and then not be punished for the failure. In governments, we do tend to be quite risk averse, but there is also risk in not trying something different and not moving that forward. So you really need to create that culture of thought process, and you actually have to exemplify what you are saying. You cannot just say, oh, well, please go play, please go try new things, and then punish when it doesn't work out exactly. It is part of the process. Every time we try something new, we learn, we grow. There is no wasted playtime, in my opinion. So you really need to create that. The other piece is we need to have more space for good conversations. Less structures, less we need to get this out of this particular conversation, and more, what are you thinking of right now? How might that apply? What did your mom tell you about the environment last night that might come back and apply to how we deliver government services?